Good morning. My name is Geroli Peedu and I'm the Chief Design Officer at NIS. Today I'm going to tell you about the service design we have been doing for XRoad 7. When I joined NIS last May, we defined our key foundation for XRoad Design, and that is user centricity. So everything we do in XRoad Design, our goal is to solve user challenges. If you participated at the XRoad community event last year in Helsinki, already there we had the first co-creative workshops to identify the challenges and needs for developing the XRoad further. Overall, XRoad design is divided into two. First part of it is the service design part. There, our aim is to understand the present and envision the future. We are doing so in continuous cycle of discovery, reflection, and co-creation. And the second part of it is the product design. In product design, we use agile methods as well as ongoingly explore and improve the XRoad user experience. Overall, we aim for coherence in order to build familiarity and trust. When we look at the roadmap for XRoad service design, since I joined last May, we started with the pre-workshops and interviews in order to define the research roadmap. And in the end of last year, we kicked off the XRoad 7 feature study, which has continued with a number of workshops that I'm going to explain in a little bit. For this year, and for the end of this year and also in the next year, we aim to study further the user needs and aspirations, as well as to establish the collaboration with academic universities and students. So here are some of the things that we have done. Already mentioned the XRoad community event. Then a very thorough study of on users and analyzing the user needs, and the workshops which due to the COVID situation has been transformed to online. But to explain more about the XRoad 7 feature study, the overall aim for us has been to understand the user needs in order to develop the XRoad 7 beta pilot features. During these pre-workshops and interviews, we had identified kind of the topics or themes that we need to study and explore further. And these have been the onboarding process, the messaging patterns, the message logs, the future of the security server, and current XRoad 6 experience. The methods we have used have been the qualitative interviews, and we have interviewed 26 participants from Estonia, Finland, Iceland, and also run an additional online survey in Estonia. All this information that we have collected, I guess in maybe 60 hours of interviews, has been analyzed and concluded in a research report which has exposed us the kind of the key challenges and obstacles that I'm going to a little bit introduce in the next slides. But what have we done with this research findings is that we have kicked off the XRoad 7 innovation workshops in order to further explore the user needs and kind of define the next steps in order to develop the XRoad further. So the XRoad 7 innovation workshops, as mentioned already, our aim is to define like a possible solutions more concretely to meet the user needs. And with the users, we don't mean only the administrators, but we mean the XRoad members and XRoad operators on a wider scale, so that they could provide the better and next generation online services. Where we are so far is that we have been able to finish the messaging logs and messaging patterns workshops. We have been discussing how to transfer large volumes of data on national and cross-border level. And we still have a number of workshops coming this autumn and probably also early next year. These have been collaborative group discussions with XRoad operators and members from Estonia, Finland, Faroe Islands and Iceland. Due to the COVID situation, we had to move everything online. Initially, we were planning to have face-to-face workshops, but due to the situation, we needed to establish like an online workshop model, which is of course technologically quite challenging, but when we were able to kind of figure it out, that how do we collaboratively discuss and design the future solutions, it has turned out to be quite time efficient and kind of enjoyable way of working together cross-border. So what have been the kind of the pain points or challenges to tackle in XRoad 7? To start with, we can say that actually XRoad 6, the attitude towards the current solution is rather good. The users perceive it as a reliable and secure solution. The current weakness is, of course, the difficult installation and configuration, the costs of running security server, which are quite high. Then it was seen that as the development of SOAP-based services was quite complicated, the addition of REST was a very good decision. And what we also learned is that actually we have a number of features in XRoad currently available which the members are not so well aware of. So therefore the need to explain and introduce the features that are already there is definitely one of the takeaways. To go further, is the onboarding process. Already known before, the onboarding process is quite long and unclear for XRoad members and requires extensive manual work from operators and members. So there is a need to make the documentation regarding onboarding process clearer. Also setting up the security server is quite complex and has quite many manual steps which we need to redesign or rethink. Similarly, the registration of subsystem, which is a manual process. And also when XRoad member would like to use services provided by another XRoad member, there is an issue of identifying the correct service due to the service catalog might not be up to date. Then the message logging, the current challenge is that the logs volume is growing quickly, which is causing additional costs for the ones that are using message logging. So in the next versions, we need more configuration options regarding the extent the messages are logged. And there is also a need to find a solution for viewing logs when the security server service is provided by a third party. About the messaging patterns, this is a very hot topic and discussed also by other presenters today in the conference. But the current challenge is that how to overcome the timeout built into the synchronous messaging pattern, which is causing issues when sending large files. The timeout might occur before the file has been transferred, so we need to come up with alternative solutions. And something that has been discussed is the publish-subscribe model, a key feature to implement the live event-based services, and currently in the workshops as well, this could be one of the solutions to go forward with. Also, streaming is needed in order to transfer large files, but it has been discussed that it might not be wise to include this kind of streaming option inside XRoad, rather to use it as an external component. Then the security server. In general, the challenges already mentioned are related to difficult setup, high operating costs, and difficult to scale without full reinstall, as well as need for better diagnostic information. So one of the solutions that have been discussed is the better adoption for cloud, which has received overwhelmingly positive feedback, and something to research further. So what have we learned so far from this research? Definitely the input from XRoad operators and XRoad members has been extremely valuable by helping us to understand better the business and user needs, and also to verify our own hypotheses. Many of these suggestions and challenges were already known to us, but when validating those with the users, we gain better understanding of what do they need, so it's not just our hypothesis. It has been quite challenging to find participants to the interviews and workshops. So I, in the future, encourage everyone who is invited to take part, because this really might shape the future of XRoad, and the interviews and workshops have been very inspiring, so it's really cool to attend. We have been able to set up like an online research model, which I mentioned already, to run the interviews, workshops, and questionnaires, which has saved us a lot of cost from traveling and time resources spent. So we can conclude that actually the COVID has had a positive effect, and we continue to run many of the research activities online. And kind of the overall aim for the upcoming year is to continue with the service discovery, go deeper in some topics, and start with some themes that were not under research yet. As well as we are planning to expand the user involvement in the agile product design, which I'm going to tell a little bit more about in my next presentation at 1 o'clock. So hopefully with all these service design and research activities in the future, we can say, as one of the XRoad members from Estonia has said, that for his experience at least was that there were no complaints regarding becoming a member. It was just a formality. So we aim for being XRoad to be a very easy and desirable system in the future, and everything we do in XRoad Design is serving this goal. Thank you.